Hey guys, so now that we've walked through the different components of the platform itself, I wanted to give you a quick understanding of the different ways that you could interact with Charlie, because I think that's one of the benefits of this new user interface, is just how fluidly you can interact with the AI. The first thing that you can do is to create a project. Simply create a prompt here, type in what you want Charlie to create or do, and ultimately you're able to do these things. So let's say research the top news in generative AI and create a bulleted list of these stories with descriptions and source links. So this is one way that you can prompt Charlie. So this kicks off a project, but you can also attach files to this, so a docx, a PDF. We'll go into how that works a little bit later, but simply all we need to do here is press enter. But if you want to say add another line, you can do that by holding down Shift Enter if you're on Mac or Control Enter if you are on Windows. So you can add different things here beyond just that initial set. So if you like it to look a little bit cleaner, a little OCD like me, go ahead and do that. But what you'll do here is you'll run your project prompt. And so what this will do is it'll take you into the project screen. So you'll notice that on the project screen, you'll have your prompts, you'll have the outputs that are coming up, but then you'll have two other separate areas that I want to show you as you're loading here. But remember that the project prompt is just the way of kicking off a project. So this is where you can start from. Ultimately, you get back your answer. So then there's a couple other ways that you can prompt once you're inside a project, right? So first and foremost is this add content button on the left-hand side. So what that'll do is it will add content to the existing project. So you click this, and what you can do is add completely new context. Now, the difference between this and the project prompt is that this will not create a new prompt. It'll just create content within the actual project that you're already in. It won't take the original prompt as context. This is a completely new slate within that project. So maybe we say research the top generative AI companies by funding amounts in 2023. So similar prompts, but notice that if you click add content, this is running a completely new prompt, completely new output, but it's still within the realm of that same project. So it's still under my new project 17. So this is great. I can do research in the same project that I can then use to create more information that I want to hear. And I'm able to kind of keep them separated. So they're different content cards on the back end. Now, what's interesting here is that there's one other way that you guys can prompt. And so we call this the local prompt bar. So the local prompt bar sits here at the bottom. So if you're familiar with chat-based interfaces, it can function that way, but it can also function as the content repurposing engine for those of you that have come to know and love our content repurposing capabilities. So if this is on edit, it will ultimately make edits to what you currently have in this card. I'll say that again. If you have this toggled to edit, it will make an edit to what's here. So this might be good if you're trying to expand what you've already written. It might be good if you want to do additional research. Now, the one important point to note is that when you're using edit, it will overwrite this card. So make sure that this is not something that you would want to keep if it were to get overwritten. For me, I think this data is going to be more important because I want to provide some citizen news reports on Twitter covering the latest happenings in generative AI. So I'm actually going to use this as source material. So what I do is I click that button and turns it into creation. That means that you can quickly use what's in this card as source material to make net new information. That's important because you'll then get another content card here. You will get maybe multiple content cards here. But again, the local prompt bar is for using this card that's active as source material, either to make edits or to make net new information. So an example of this might be for each of these bullets, create a tweet for Twitter discussing the news. So this is, again, create. I'm saying, hey, take all of these news happenings, so there's 7 of them, and create a tweet discussing the news. and include the URLs. So this is important because you're using the information that you already had, that research information, and now you're going to create net new material. So while this is running, you don't have access to make any edits to this, but it is using that material. So what should come back is your original piece that you had, plus a whole bunch of new information that has been created based off of those bulleted points. So now we have all these tweets. This is fantastic. Now we have all sorts of different tweets that we can then post to Twitter using our Twitter integration. Now, this is great, but maybe we wanted to make edits here. So let's, can you rerun this research about, or actually, let's just make an edit here. Please remove the last bullet point from the results. So the difference here that you're going to see is that it's going to make an edit to that original piece of content. So see, now we only have these original ones. So this is an important point. Again, if you're on edit, it's going to make an edit directly to this, and it's going to overwrite the last thing. You'll also see the edit that you made in that prompt. Now, if it's on create, you use that to create net new material, which will create new cards over here. So create's more like content repurposing. Edit is more like using the AI to make edits for you. So those are just some of the ways that you can prompt Charlie. Over time, you'll start to get a feel for this is more used for making global edits to the content that's output. This is more for creating net new content that you might pull into your research. It's a really easy way for you to be able to create a whole bunch of new content all in one place, and or use content that you've created in the platform as net new material. This is also a great way that if you want to bring content into the platform that you've already used, you can do so. All right, that's it for today. Thanks.